Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and if you haven't been able to guess from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about some new discoveries in Japanese metal forming. By the way, I just rolled, I got Player's Choice, and yes, I am implementing that system. So let's just go ahead and do what I usually do. Now, for the run, I'll just be completely straight up honest, I've been trying to run a soccer cleats run for a while now, and this is my third attempt at recording it without even getting close to the finish line. So I'm going to make a bit of a change. I am going to use Spark Array instead of Blazing Vault, but we'll keep everything else the same and see if we can't get better results. The old saying, of course, is third time's a charm. I don't know how much stock you put in Lucky Charms or, magical objects, but let's see if the third time really is the successful time. After Nox finally decides to give me my challenge increasing item. And of course he's going to be a douche about it. I know by all rights I should probably edit this out, but, the two things about that is, one, there it is. But I will finish what I was saying. One, I'm not very good with editing software, and for my gameplay videos, I tend to go minimal editing. And two, I kind of feel like if you want the real experience of what doing something like this is like, it helps to know of course they would be the third ones. Oh, Lord. But it helps to know exactly how the Kool-Aid is made, so to speak. Now, I will admit that this run is a bit more difficult than most, just because I'm not the most familiar person with melee builds. Like, even for melee builds, I tend to like to have some sort of ranged control just to keep things in check. So, take how good this run is with a grain of salt, because oftentimes it's going to rely on me doing what I know how to do, such as stepping on spikes and injuring myself in a horrible, grotesque manner. But I'm sure you can already see where the problems are here. I am not doing a particularly good job at not coming out of every fight horribly injured. But I'm gonna try, mostly because I really want to talk about some of these bands that I've been listening to lately. And to be fair, there's a lot of stuff coming out of Japan that I really have been digging, like heavily. And for starters, for those of you who have been with the channel for a while and have seen a lot of my Wizard of Metal offerings, one of those bands was Crystal Lake. I had originally done an in-depth look at their song Aeon, and at the time, I had just kind of called it, hardcore for the sake of being hardcore, and was being very dismissive of it. I recently heard another one of their songs, courtesy of Sirius XM and the show The Chaos Hour, which is run by Matt Hafey of Trivium. And he just recently got back from a tour in Japan. Not only that, but apparently he has Japanese roots, which, yeah, that's cool. Who knew, right? I mean, to be fair, this is about the... It's about the right thing that one would want to pick up for a movement-based run, even though it is going to be resisted by the twins. Give him this. And I'll grab that. But, to finish what I was saying, I was listening to his show on my way home from having run some errands, and one of their songs was playing. I want to say it was like Disavowed or I don't know. The word started with a D. Maybe it was like Deceit or something. I don't know. I actually really liked it. Like the song slapped a little bit more than I was willing to give credit for. And maybe that's my own fault for being dismissive of them in the first place. But yeah, I was finding myself really liking how they were meshing the deep graveling vocals with admittedly some very very good instrumental work. Oh, this build is not doing me justice. As you can see, this is just not a good build for me. Having to get in close to damage your enemies is fine, but God, it can be really, really difficult when there's so many enemies. Let's use the portal. Let's, try to be somewhat smart, even if my gameplay is crap. But I mean, Crystal Lake isn't the only thing that I wanted to talk about, because there's been so much good stuff coming out of Japan lately. Some of the obvious shout-outs would be to Baby Metal, who just had a new album come out this year. By the way, The Other One. That's the name of the album. I'm not just offering a dismissive description. And I really have been enjoying that. Admittedly, I've been a fan of Baby Metal from the very beginning, so perhaps it's a biased take, but amongst other Japanese offerings that I've been listening to a lot lately also involve the likes of Love Bites, which is another all-female Japanese metal band. They are really seriously talented. like, I'm really hoping that they start to become recognized outside of Japan. But I mean, also kind of hard to say that they're not being recognized when I first heard of them, again, because of SiriusXM. Like, seriously, just go to SiriusXM Liquid Metal and you'll find all sorts of great stuff. But yeah, I think their name is really starting to blow up, and I'm happy for them because they really deserve it. They are so good. And in the background, I'm sure you can hear a very excited bird. Yes, it's actually finally starting to feel like spring weather here in Minnesota. The high temperature today was about 45, which, yeah, not incredibly warm, but considering that we were getting snow up until, like, I don't know, not too long ago, it feels like a heat wave to us. So he is communicating with the birds outside. Alright, I'll grab that. And that. One more band that I had already been listening to before I heard about them on the Chaos Hour. Well, okay, two. There's Duran Gray, which I think a lot of metalheads already know the name Duran Gray, so that one should come as no surprise that that was familiar. And then I went out of my way to find the full discography for a band called Das Fienreich, which, despite the German name, it is a Japanese band. They are a band responsible for actually a lot of anime songs. So if their name or Yosei Teikoshin sounds familiar, that would be why, because you probably have heard their music before. But amongst some of the new stuff that I've heard that really caught my attention, there were a few bands that really did the job. And amongst them were the likes of hold on, I'm trying not to die early in this run. Okay. Deep breath. But amongst them were the likes of Her Name in Blood, which, you know, sounds like just any other death metal band you've ever heard of, but I don't think they're death metal. I think they're just eccentric, really. But I really enjoyed what I heard of them. I forget the name of their song, but they had a weird way of mixing, like, you know, groovalicious instrumentals. And sorry if you're bothered by, like, that's not a real word, Dark Sage. Yeah, well, yours isn't a real face. Rocket ship. Then I was introduced to Crossfaith, which again is a band I had never heard of before. The only kind of tenuous link I have to them is that they're Japanese, and they were introduced to me on the Chaos Hour with Matthew K. Havey. Sorry, I had to just dash right back to try to avoid hitting another explosive nitroglycerin barrel, because I hate those things. Iris, you could, help me out here. This run has been giving me a lot of trouble, and even with keystoning it or capping it off with Spark Array, I still feel like I'm struggling. Then the last band that really caught my attention, and for some of you, you might understand why, was Linked Horizon. Why should that be at all important? Because they're the ones that did the themes for Attack on Titan. At least for, I think it was the first 3 seasons is what I had heard. Grab this. We have a lot of electricity, so I'll probably grab that. I also want that. Okay. I might grab the battery, I might not, I don't know yet. It'd be helpful from a jump, I'll tell you that much. There's really nothing here I want. I would have been more interested in the tiny crocodile heart had it showed up earlier, but I don't know. Not feeling it right now. Yeah, there's nothing there I want, especially not Vortex Trap, not after what we saw of it earlier. So definitely a lot of really interesting, really interesting melodic metal coming out of the Land of the Rising Sun, and I highly implore you to check some of it out. There's a lot of really good stuff, and like I said, I've been really into Love Bites and baby metal for a little bit now. Can't believe I managed to do that without getting punished for it. Smooth, just jumped right past her. We're just gonna leave that. Alright, so here's a big problem. Spark Array has been working as a working as a control method for me for this entire run up until now, but it's not going to work against a bunch of the enemies here. So now I need to either replace it or try to use it a bit more wisely. I'm going to wait to give the token to Dr. Song here. Also, I forgot to go back and grab the battery, which I'm not going to make a big stink out of. That was, my bad. Oops. Alright, you know what? That's fine. Get rid of the stone golem, then I can take out the macho ghouls. Hopefully before they destroy me. And there is one more Japanese metal band that I've heard of that I'm really interested in checking out, and I believe their name is Lightning. And again, like, I don't... Oh, dude, I really lost track of what I was going to say here. Well, Dark Sage, maybe you should have a script. Don't tell me how to make my videos. Hypothetical viewer type person. But if Nightmare sounds familiar, that's because they did the... I'm not sure if it was... I'm pretty sure it was the opening soundtrack to Death Note. I don't know if you would call them metal, but they're definitely rock of some variety, and I am A-okay with that. That's good enough. Okay, well, I mean, at least we get to upgrade Ice Dagger. I have my issues with that. Ulti's still too long. Alright, where am I going? I could have taken the portal, but, you know, I'm not that smart. Okay, game. Respond when I tell you to do things. Okay, that room is horrible. Oh, and I could have gotten the magician's outfit, but oh well. Trust me when I say I'm not complaining. It would have been even more of a slog up until then with my spells activating so much slower. Like, it's very possible that without my spells activating at the speed that I wanted them to, that could have been enough to spell game over. Like, I'm already struggling with this run enough. Okay. And now that I have that, we move on. So, as long as we're talking about, you know, metal from other countries, what sorts of interesting bands have you been checking out? You know, if you listen to metal, that is. And when I say that, I mean specifically my use of the term band, because, yeah, there are bands of other types, but... Apparently Cecil is upset at my use of the term band, as if to say that only metal groups can be bands. I acknowledge that I made a mistake, buddy. You don't have to be so loud about it. Game. Let me move. Yeah, it's because I've already lost trying to do this soccer cleats run twice. I'm trying to be just a little bit more cautious. So you'll forgive me for being just a little bit quiet. Oh, outside of Nightmare, there was another band that I was thinking of. I already mentioned Lightning. There was another one. I can't seem to recall which one it was, though. It'll probably come to me by the end of the episode, and if it doesn't, not the first time that I've mentioned something that just kind of went. You know, just kind of went unheard of for a while. Ow. Yeah, that didn't work out as well as I would have liked. At least she's willing to upgrade all my stuff now. Jeez. Nice if you had done Spark Array earlier. I kind of needed that earlier. Oh, hello, Wanderer's Mechanism. Definitely not turning that down. Now, I suppose what I'm liking the most about Japanese metal is that, first of all, just coming from a land like Japan, it's kind of a stereotypical thing. Like, you would really not think them to be the sort to really produce a lot of metal music, but lo and behold, here we are. And it's really good, too. Not everyone. Obviously, not everyone gets to be a superstar in any field. But I mean, But I mean, again, I have a bit of a bias. I already studied Japanese language and culture when I was in school. I have a profound love of gaming, which at least back in 1983 and whatnot was a very, very Japanese thing. It still is, obviously. I'm just saying, if it wasn't for the Japanese gaming market, we wouldn't have the gaming market we have now. But I mean, America is running its game market into the ground, as you know, American business politics tend to do with everything. So I guess it just kind of comes as no surprise that it ended up being the Japanese gaming market that came in and just said, all right, hold on, everyone. This is how you freaking do it. I don't know why I said freaking instead of the other F word. I guess I got too used to censoring myself. All I can say to that is, fuck. And you're not gonna break my faith in my Rainbow Stride, boy. I figured that would be a mistake, but I had the charge, I wanted to try. So there you have it. I just wanted to have one run in between the elements that I talked about something different. So I hope of all the bands that I listed off and talked about, you guys check out at least one of them. It would be very much an honor for me if I were able to help you discover something that you hadn't before. Like, if nothing else, at least remember the name Linked Horizon because of their contribution to Attack on Titan. I think we can all at least agree on that. And yeah, I hope that's... Well, I'm not gonna say I hope that's it, but that is it for the end for this episode. I can't talk today. My brain is in a completely different place, so... Yeah! One last thing before I sign off, though. Now that I have a different recording setup that I'm sure isn't going to just randomly delay audio, now I'm ready to record Elden Ring, but I want you guys to decide something for me. I want you guys to decide what class or build I do for an Elden Ring playthrough. I'm curious as to what you guys have to say about it, and I'm not joking this time. I actually am going to play Elden Ring, I swear. All that having been said, thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate your continued support. Drop me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe, share the video, and ring the bell. YouTube wants you to do 5 things just to show your creators that you like them. You used to only have to subscribe. I've been on this rant before. What am I doing? Ranting. Oh yeah, that is what I'm doing. But anyway, thank you for coming and spending some of your free time with me. I wish you a fantastic day or night wherever you happen to be, and I will see you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and take care, everyone.